Did you just install Adobe Premiere Elements 2025 and you don't know what to do next? Well, don't get lost in those menus. Here are the first 5 things you need to do to start editing like a pro. Hi, George here from HTG Photo, and I help you master creative tools fast. By the end of this video, you'll have your workspace set up, your first video clip imported, and you'll be ready to edit confidently. Right now, I have my course on sale for just about 2 weeks. It goes off sale on September 5th. That's the last day. And it's at 25% off right now for about 10 or 11 days, 25% off. Okay, for the first of our 5 things you should do, let's go up here at the very top center. We have these 3 tabs up here, Quick, Guided, and Advanced. This is going to change how your workspace performs. Quick is here for real quick and easy, simple projects. Notice how the left-hand tools have been massively simplified. Everything is simplified inside of the quick mode, and as the name implies, it's good for real quick projects. Guided mode is a teaching mode. We have the tutorials over here, basic tutorials getting started, adding titles, add animated overlays, add a Luma fade transition effect, and some fun edits down here, add a double exposure, and create a time lapse or stop motion. Now all of these different tutorials come with downloadable materials. Go ahead and click on that download. You can work along in the tutorial with those downloaded assets. So very easy to use. So that's the guided mode. And again, this is your learning section. And finally, advanced mode. And this is the real heart of the program. And I recommend most of the time just staying in advanced mode. And all of my videos are based here on the advanced mode. All right, so we've chosen a mode. We now need to bring in something to edit. Let's go up here, click on this plus button right there, add media. You can bring media in from the Elements Organizer if you have any over there. From files or folders, this is your most normal way of bringing in media. You can browse, preview, and import media using the Media Browser panel if you want. You also can get media right from your camera or device if that can be plugged into your computer. You can get photos or videos, or if you have a DVD camera or a computer drive, you can import from that as well. So we'll do files and folders. Simply navigate to the folder that contains your video and then bring your video in very quickly. I have several things up here. Notice I have a JPEG image right here. I have some MP4 videos. If you hold the control key down, you can select more than one. The beach up here, I have a green screen piece right here. And I have some music tracks. There's an MP3 file. I'll grab that one. So we're grabbing a selection of different file types. That cone-shaped thing that you see in there before the video loads in the preview, that's just the icon for the VLC media player that I use for playing videos on my computer. If you have some other video player, you'll have a different icon there. Okay, we have some things selected in here. Choose Open, and it imports all of those over into the Project Assets tab over here, left-hand side. So there's a video clip, video clip, video clip. Here's our JPEG image, and here's our audio file. Now notice how I had all of my assets already compiled into one folder. That's the easiest way to work. So make a new folder on your hard drive, and then place any asset you want to work with in there into that one folder. It makes it much easier than to import because they're all in the same location. Now, as you're working along, you should be saving your project. Notice right now it says Untitled Pre-L. That stands for Premiere Elements file right here. Let's go ahead and we'll save this one and give it a name at the same time. File, do save, and save it someplace where it's easy for you to find. I just made a folder here called Projects on my hard drive, and I'll put it right down here. I'm just going to call this one First 5 Things. And choose Save. We've now saved the project, and notice that our project name up here has changed. There it is. And also over here, right-hand side, you see the name again, right there. And if you roll over this, it will also show you the location of your saved Premiere Elements file. Just to the right of that, there's also a Save button right there. Okay, taking a fast look around our workspace here. We already have our project assets left-hand side. We've already seen the Add Media button. Right here, this is the project assets. This is what this location is. We also have Add Titles and Text, Add Audio to the soundtrack, and Add Graphics. So everything over here is working with media that's contained inside of your project. Right-hand side gives you tools for working with the contents of your existing project. The main area here, this is your main viewing window, and you have VCR style controls right down here. And then below this is your timeline. And this is where you actually build your video, is right here. Notice you can drag and drop media here to start creating your video. Easy to do. I'm just going to start with the still image right here. I'll just drag this and drop it in here. And notice how this comes in as a line here, as a track. And as soon as we have one in here, we have several tracks automatically. Video 1, Video 2, Video 3. And then down below, we have audio tracks 1, 2, and 3 to match our video tracks. You can show or hide a video track just like that. If you need to lock a track, you can do that. Here's a little lock button. This is now protected from accidental editing. There's a playhead right here. I can pull the playhead through. Now this is a still image, so if I play this, you won't see anything happen because it's just a still image. This is occasionally nice if you're doing titles, things like that. Let's come down, we'll do another video clip. Notice how this snaps right to the edge there. Just pull it out and bring it back, just snaps right to that edge. Or come over here, and you can go to the next edit point, which is right there, or previous edit point, which is at the beginning. Let's go back up here to our first video clip. Notice if I just scroll my mouse over this, I'm not pressing the button down, I'm just pushing the mouse over this. I get a little preview of the video right there, so you can kind of see what it does. If I double click, it brings it here into a little preview window. I can then preview the video right here and see what that looks like. Let's just close that panel. Or if I drag and drop, now notice that I dragged it to this position and it dropped in at that position. So it's not going to automatically go up against your previous position. I put this onto the same line, and you can edit on the same line. There are some times when you want to do that. It makes it very easy for transitions. It's also very convenient to simply put this onto a different track like that. Notice that the audio stayed here. It's our first audio track, so it's on audio 1. And the video is up here. Now, if I pull this back and forth, notice how the audio moves with the video, even though the video is on a different track. You can overlap tracks like that. On the overlap, my video is actually too small for my play window in here. So I have a couple of choices. I can change the size of my video to match this video clip, or I can enlarge this video clip to match my image area. And it's up to you which way you want to go. Now that we have some content on here, let's go ahead and set up our project size. I'll go up to Edit, come down here to Sequence Settings, and right here we have Video and Frame Size. Set this at the 1080p size. That's 1920 by 1080 vertical. That's a 16:9 ratio right there. We're using square pixels, no fields. Display format, this is basically 30 frames per second. Leave all of these at their defaults. Choose OK. And here we go. There's our 1920 by 1080 video frame. Again, this is a standard size on sites like YouTube. Let's now adjust our images in here so that they match this size. I'll go to the still image here first. Right-click and scale to frame size. That gets us top and bottom. Takes a bit of an adjustment here left and right. Let's take care of that one. Come to here, it says FX. And here's our position and our scaling. Notice if I go right over where it says 100, I can click and drag that and actually make the image larger. I'll go just large enough so it fills that screen. There we go. Okay. Let's now go to our video clip right here. Right-click on this one, and let's scale to frame size. And there we go. We now have everything fitting properly on our frame. And here's the beginning of our video. So we have our still image right here, and then our video clip right in there. The video clip comes with a soundtrack. Notice that there's nothing showing in here, so there's no actual music on this soundtrack. If you want to bring in a music track, let's just grab our music track up here. I'll drag this one down, put it onto audio 2, let go. And notice that I can see some stuff happening in here. Stretch the video up a little bit like that, and then I'll stretch this out a bit, get those a bit larger. Notice we have 2 layers of sound. That means that this is just a stereo soundtrack, left and right channels. So if there's any sound on your soundtrack, you're going to be seeing this on your soundtrack. And there's no sound on this soundtrack, so no real reason to keep that. We can scroll over here to the right-hand side. I'm just going to scroll down a ways, double check. Okay, there's nothing in there anywhere. So let's just go ahead and remove this one. Now this is attached again to that video track up above here. So I'm going to right-click on this, and this unlink. It's now on here all by itself. So I can click on that, hit the delete key, and then just delete that track out of there. And I can then move this soundtrack up to keep it all nice and close together. I normally do soundtracks last. Now, when you're working with a video, the main thing you're going to be doing is choosing which part of the video you want to keep. So I'm just going to scroll this down by hand. Notice if I grab this and go back and forth, I can find exact spots in here. Come down below, you can take this bar right here and go back and forth in your video clip. I'm using the wheel on my mouse right now just to scroll back and forth on that. You can do it with the wheel as well. We have our timeline up here. So I can choose how long I wanted to have this run. Let's say I wanted to come down here to just about 40 seconds right here. I can then grab the right side and drag this shorter. It's going to clip that down to just that position. Or I can pull it back out as far as it will go, and that's as far as it goes. Or I can choose a spot right here, and I can cut this at that point. Over here, left-hand side, little mini toolbar right here. Hit the scissor tool, and then come in, and you can click right on that point, and click, and it cuts that into 2 parts. The nice thing about this is I can then use this piece someplace else, maybe cut back and forth, whatever I want to do. So now I have trimmed that. And notice if you don't see anything in the track in here, that means that you have blank video. So you get black in there. Now this is a copy of this one. This is a copy showing the first part. This is a copy showing the second part. But the whole first part is still here. I can actually grab this and pull this back a ways and get more of that first part in. So keep in mind that if you cut a clip like this, you're getting two copies of the same overall clip, and you're just looking at two different parts of that same clip. So your copied bit here is a complete clip. Or if you want to just delete that, just hit the delete key and delete that from your project. Okay, scroll back. Let's say you wanted to see these layers larger. You can do that. You can grab this here and pull these up and down. And in between your video clips, you can pull those up and down as well, making it larger or smaller. It's up to you on how much space you need to have in there. You can also make your video area larger. Just go up here, so there's that double arrow again. Click and drag, and you can expand or contract the timeline. Right-hand side over here, this allows you to scroll up and down. That's as far down as that goes. And there's a separate one down here for the audio track. So the audio track has one vertical scroll, and the video tracks have one vertical scroll. And there's a button right here. This will fit everything into your time frame here. Just click on that, and now the whole thing is fitting into the time frame. It's pretty large because the audio track here is real long, and this is now real short. I can change this by grabbing these handles here at either end of the scroll bar down here, pull that in, and it's going to be zooming in, so we're seeing a smaller part of that, and then again I can drag that back and forth. So pretty easy to come in here and adjust the view to see exactly what you want to be looking at. Okay, important step number 4 is adding in titles and transitions. Let's go back here to our beginning still image. And left-hand side, click on the T over here. And this takes us into the titles section. Now you have two basic areas up here, My Templates and Adobe Stock. You can get a lot more stuff from Adobe Stock if you want to. I'll stick with what comes built into Premiere Elements. That's the My Templates section down here. And these are a lot of fancy titles. You can just drag and drop onto your image. If it is black in the background like this, more likely than not, that means that this is transparent or clear, and your title will just be sitting on top of your image. The things that show something in the background, this is going to be overlaying this, and so you won't see your image. You'll see just whatever is over here inside of this template. We'll do a real simple one down here. It says your bold title here. I'll just drag this over. I'll put it right onto my timeline like that. I put it onto video 3 because it is a video element. And here we go. There it is, your bold title here. Notice that when I'm on this left-hand side, I get more options over here for this template. I have the different parts of the text, your bold title, and here. And then top line accent, that's that red line here. And bottom line accent, that's that red line down here. We have some transform options allowing you to change size, move, rotate, things like that. Notice that this is a responsive design. That means that it has built-in animation. Let's go ahead, we'll take a look at that. I'll click on this and go back to the previous edit point, which is the beginning, hit the play button, and there it is. The title comes in like that. It's going to go back out again in just a second. There it goes, and it's out. So that's a responsive design. Now you can change what it says. Go ahead and click onto the title. You can then just type something in. I'll put down Hawaii right there. Let's type up here where it says your. I'll put my. It's coming in here where it says here. Double click. And I'll call it my Hawaii vacation. Go back to the beginning. Let's play this. And there we go. There is that text. Okay, the next thing we can do in here is transitions. And notice as I play this, we go into right here. There's a change from the still image to the video image. The title is still on top of this. You can see that right down below. Our title here is overlapping the video clip right here. The video clip is overlapping the still image. And this straight cut like that is just cutting from one to the next. Now, if you want to, you can put in a fancier transition. We have those over here, right-hand side. Right here, this bottom button, click on that. And this brings up all kinds of fancy transitions. These are all very easy to use. Simply drag it and drop it onto your video clip. I'll just do something real easy in here. The first most popular is a straight cut. We've already seen that. The second one is going to be some kind of a dissolve. Let's just find a basic dissolve in here. That's our cross dissolve right here. Notice if you click on this, you get a little preview of what that looks like. I'm going to drag that down, just drop it onto this video clip right there. And I'll zoom in a bit on this. You can see that better. There we go. Notice how the cross dissolve is going longer than my still image down here. So we would have black in behind that would cause us some problems. Now, luckily with the still image, I can make the still image as long as I want. So I'll drag this down so it comes down past that dissolve right here. So now see what this looks like. The play button, and there is that dissolve. Now this went back to our previous edit point. That's that point right here. Let's go back again. That's that point right here. Let's click a couple of times, get back to the beginning. There we are. So play this. Now the text comes in and kind of disappears. And we have our cross dissolve going on at the same time as that disappears. And it should be a real nice smooth transition then with the text and with the imagery. Okay, so here's our text comes in. It's going to slowly back away and cross dissolve out into our video clip right there. So very easy to come in here and put in any of these transitions. Again, a lot that you can do with transitions, and I cover all of that in my video training course if you're interested in taking a look at that. Okay, it's time now for step 5. We'll take a look at adjusting audio and export settings. I'm just going to close down these panels on both sides to get those out of the way. Now this is a soundtrack, but if I had dialogue with a video, it would show up like we had before. You would again have an audio clip down here, and you would see something like this with a voice for the audio track. It would be exactly the same thing. Normally I'll put my soundtrack down towards the bottom, and if I have any audio track, I'll put that above my soundtrack. You don't have to. You can do it any way you want. It just works out well for me to put any music down below. I also tend to put sound effects on top of my audio track. Again, you can do it any way you like. That's just my personal preference. So in that case, let's just stretch this up a bit so you can see that better. So I have audio 3. So I would move this soundtrack to audio 3. I put my dialogue here on audio 2. And any sound effects, I put those on audio 1. It just seems to make sense for me. But for now, let's put this on audio 2 where it's easy to see. And go over here to FX. And we have audio effects in here. So you can adjust things such as amplitude and compression, delay, echo, filtering, modulation, noise reduction, reverb, and specials. You have all kinds of special effects you can apply here to your audio if you want that. Or click on the button here under Fix. And we have audio adjustments because we're working with an audio clip. So your volume control is right here, and balance control, this is your stereo left and right, and your treble and your bass right there. Okay, let's now take a look at exporting our whole file. Once we're all done with that, just close this down. And that's up here where it says export and share. And the first thing I recommend doing is saving. You should be saving as you go. Video files are very large files. They take up a lot of memory and a lot of resources on your computer. Because of that, video programs tend to crash more than other programs, so it's a very good idea to be saving as you go all the time. So up here to File, come down to Save. Notice the keyboard shortcut for that is Control-S. Click on Save, and just keep it saved as you're working. Okay, let's take a look at the Export and Share right here. And this brings up the Export and Share window. Notice that I can look at the whole video right here. I can look at my source video, and I can look at my output over here, right-hand side. You can change any of these things. There's your settings up here. The first option is to save to your computer. There's the file name. I can leave it as is or change. It goes to the same location that I opened my files up from. That's fine. Here's the format. H.264 right now is the default format. I'll leave it at that. And match our source here. These little buttons over here allows you to save either video or audio or both. And click on that and have your save settings down below here. In most cases, leaving these things at their defaults will work out just fine for you. And on the left-hand side, notice that you can save out to several different formats at the same time. I just use the computer setting, and then if I want to go to YouTube, I'll upload to YouTube using the YouTube upload process. And I'll do that as a separate step. I personally prefer to separate steps out. That gives me more control. If something goes wrong, I'm at a spot where I can easily fix that. If you do it all at once and things mess up, then you have to fix everything at once also. So it's easier for me just to divide this into separate steps. But if you want to, you can go over here and export out to YouTube. Here's the YouTube publish settings right down through here. It comes in above the video settings. So I can choose my channel right here. If I have a playlist, I can put it into that playlist. For instance, I put this into my Premiere Elements playlist like that. Title, description, privacy settings, tags, and so forth. Again, this is something which I prefer doing through YouTube's uploader where I have more control over that. If you don't want to, just uncheck that. You can also upload to Vimeo, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I'll go back over here to my computer settings. Once you're happy with all of your settings, just click the export button, and it's going to export that file. Now, the size of the file will control how long it takes for the export to run. The more video you have, the longer the video, the more special effects you have in that video, more titles you have, anything like that is going to increase the length of time it takes to export the video. It tends to go pretty fast, and it is normally faster than the actual video length, but it's going to be a slower process. It's not like saving an image file. Video files are huge, and things just take longer with video files. And let this go ahead and finish out, then I'll bring the video right back up again. Okay, I went ahead and brought up the folder for that save. Now this normally doesn't happen. I had to go over to my hard drive and bring this up. But here is the saved video right there. I go ahead and play that if I wanted to. Here is the project file. And here are separate folders for different elements that are used in creating the actual video file. So you get a lot of stuff when you save. If I was going to be putting this up on YouTube, all I care about is just this one file right down here, the one that says MP4. If you're not seeing the MP4 or the pre-L right here, just go up to View and Show and make sure that Phoneme Extensions is checked right there. And again, if you want to learn a lot more about how to use Premiere Elements, I have a whole video training course for this. The link for that is at the top of the description. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I'll see you next time.